Hey there, Pastor Al here on this Wednesday before Christmas, Christ's first Advent. And we, this weekend, Sunday and Monday, are going to be celebrating that first Advent. And what a great time to be with family, be with friends. Remember that Christ came to die. He came for us to give his life for us. And so we remember that this coming weekend. But there's a great part of the story that we have, even as we look back at Christ's first Advent, about a particular people group that were profoundly and forever changed by the coming of the Messiah. It's written about in the book of Luke, chapter 2, the shepherds on the hill as they were watching their sheep. Now, if you've ever done a cultural history on Israel, you'll know that shepherds were considered some of the lowest in their culture, that they weren't given a lot of credibility, they weren't given a lot of societal importance. And because of that, even it was so low that if there was ever a trial, even what they would witness was not considered credible. They didn't have a good reputation for credibility at all. And yet it's not ironic, it's just God using the foolish things to confound the wise. He came to shepherds. He didn't come to the church of the day. He didn't come to the leaders in the synagogues. He didn't come to the royalty of that day. He didn't come to important people, the scribes and the Pharisees. He came to people that were looked upon in a bad way, a negative way by society. In fact, people that society thought they could do without became the very proclaimers of Christ's first advent. So as we read that, and at that night, as they were out with the sheep, and they kind of smelled like sheep. They just out with the sheep all the time, and that's who they had. That's all they had, just themselves and the sheep. And as they're sitting out there watching their flocks by night, it says an angel of the Lord came and showed himself to them. Let's begin reading a little bit in chapter 2, and you'll recognize this as we begin to read. Verse 9, actually, back up to just one verse. And behold, an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were greatly afraid. And the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people." And the angel goes on to explain about the city of David and a Savior being born, Christ the Lord. And you'll have to understand that these men sitting in the dark at night, all of a sudden everything was bright around them. If that's not enough to terrify you, then this great angel is standing before you. And this angel is making a proclamation. And I'm sure that you're so astounded by everything that you're seeing that you're not really hearing what the angel has to say. But the angel says, "I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people." And as the angel makes his proclamation, they said, "Hey, what hinders us from going down to see this baby, this thing that's happened?" So they go down and they find Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger. And then after they went back and told everybody what they had seen. And one of the greatest things that I've learned from this story is if God would reveal himself to me that way, or to any of us that way, would we have the same reaction? Would we go out and tell everybody that we know exactly what God has done and how he has shown himself to us? Well, the shepherds were crucial into the coming of Jesus, into his advent, and declaring what God had shown them and how God had revealed himself to them. We should take the same thought and have the same force in our conversation to bring Christ to the forefront and to tell others about him. As we get to nearest this Christmas season, don't be afraid to tell people the reason that we celebrate Christmas and about the first advent of our Savior and what he has done for you. May you find that encouraging today. Merry Christmas and have a great day with Jesus.